Another problem of society is that there is too much nervous energy, too much anxiety, especially in the cities. Many people are running and they don't know why they are running. And even if they're not running, their mind is running. Because anxiety actually has nothing to do with how much you do, but how much you have anxiety about what you do. Some people can do nothing and have anxiety all day long. Other people can do hundreds of things and feel very relaxed about them. So anxiety is a state of mind. And what is it? It's a doubt that what we are doing, we will be able to finish it in time, or that the results will be the results that we want. Now these results could not be for ourselves, it could be for our children. Anxiety about how our children are doing, anxiety about their health, about their school, about various things, you see. So anxiety is usually two aspects. One is about time, if I will finish this in time. And secondly, if the results that I am seeking from any effort in life will be the ones that I want. And of course that comes from attachment. The idea that is, if these results are not the ones that I want, and if I don't get this finished in time, I have programmed into my mind that the world will come to an end. You know, some things may be serious. Maybe something may have to do with about living and dying, about, you know, the life of our loved ones. But even that, although it seems like the end of life, if we lose a loved one, after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, we see that life continues. So it's a whole idea that we don't have the ability to handle what will happen. This is anxiety. I don't have the ability to handle the possibility of not getting this done on time, of not getting there on time, of things not turning out the way I want them. And the problem is this: the more anxiety you have, the more you accumulate. Because if you have anxiety, very small things affect you. Whereas the more relaxed you are, the less stimuli create anxiety. It's an accumulative effect. So the more tense I am, the more small words, small situations add to that. It's like, you know, it's almost like if you have this, imagine this screen here, and this screen is made up of threads in both directions. And so if there's a very tight weave, nothing can pass through it. So imagine each thread as a certain belief that I must have this, I must have that, my reality must be totally controlled, exactly what I want it to be for me to be happy. So virtually nothing can pass through that without getting caught into the mesh. Now as I pull out one thread after the other, and say, well, I can be okay if that doesn't happen, and I can also be okay if that doesn't happen, and I can also be okay if that happens, and the weave becomes looser, and some things can pass through them. And as we remove most of the threads, and we just have, a few basic threads here, most experiences can pass through this weave of the mind without creating tension. So meditation and self-knowledge work are the process of pulling threads out of this tightly weaved mind, which says things must be exactly the way I want them in order for me to be okay, so that less and less things that happen, that people say in situations, get caught, and more things are able to go through. This does not create apathy. Don't think that it creates a state of not trying to create what we want. It's just that I have transformed my addictions into preferences. And I say, I like to have this kind of life. I want people to behave this way. I want to have these things. But it's not an addiction. It's not an attachment. It's a preference. I will work towards creating it. I will work towards manifesting it. But if it doesn't happen, I'll be okay. And I'll keep working on it. But I get free from the anxiety about the situation. Now the other problem is that we're not only confronted by our own anxiety, but with the anxiety of people around us. So here we have the hot potato effect. That is, so we go somewhere and the bus driver shouts at us, and we get upset, and so we shout at somebody else, and then they take out their negativity on someone else. Or a husband comes home full of anxiety, he gives it on to the wife gives it to the children give it to the dog bites the husband. And we have this vicious circle of negativity. Right? So what we need to do is not to take the potato and throw it somewhere else. So through daily meditation and self-knowledge, we can begin to have understanding and be able to not hold in other people's negativity, but transform it into understanding, to realize that this negativity that I am receiving from this person at this moment is not directed to me. This is a very beautiful concept from Laura Huxley's book, You Are Not the Target. Laura Huxley was the wife of Aldous Huxley. And she wrote a book it's a very small book of various techniques you can use to let go of negativity. And one of those is to remember, and it's the name of the book, that you are not the target. The other person just needs to get rid of this energy. And he's not meditating, and he's not doing self-knowledge, and he's not going out to the gym to release this energy. And so the only thing he can do is to release it on the closest and the safest place, which is wife, children, husband, parents. This is the safest place to let out your negativity. Because you let it out to someone else, they may punch you in the face. You might lose your job, whatever it may be. So understanding that this energy is not for me. This person doesn't hate me. This person is just trying to get rid of this negativity. We cannot take it personally. We can take it not personally. And we can take it with understanding, and we don't have to do anything with it. It's not ours. It has nothing to do with us. We don't have to take it in at all. We can just hear whatever that person is saying about us. We can just hear, look at how unhappy I am. That's all we're going to hear. He may be saying, you did this and you did that and you're worthless and it's your fault. But the only thing we're going to hear is, look at how unhappy I am. And when we can hear that, then we're not going to take it personally. We're not going to get upset. And we can be helpful to that person. And this is definitely can be a result of daily meditation and self-knowledge.